no good on the buzzer beater. And so it's the Charlotte Hornets in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Now let's take a listen on head coach Dwane Casey.
But it's about defense down here. No second shot. Rebound we go. All right? But make sure, make a miss, get back. Here we go.
On to make more plays, be fast end-to-end. Dwane Casey injecting energy into his team.
Yeah, and when they're in attack mode, sometimes it can lead to turnovers, but it could also lead to a nice run here.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up. 2K Sports, happy to have you with us. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So for Toronto right now, Wright is out there with Lowry. Then it's DeRozan. Then it's Nogueira. And it's Miles in at the 4. Here's DeRozan. Nice spin off the left rim and in. DeRozan's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for Toronto. Walker against Wright, and Walker kicks to Lamb. Outside Williams. Pass to Walker, back to Zeller. Pick by Zeller. Here's Lamb. And not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that. Raptors trail by 7. And Wright kicks to Lowry. Back to Wright. Passes it to DeRozan. Dishes to Wright. Got a hand on it.
And despite the short wingspan for a big man, Kaminsky with the height and timing to steal block shots.
Pass to Zeller. Kaminsky sets the pick for Lamb. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Hornets lead by 9.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
Toronto calls timeout.
Well, Kaminsky, one of the rare four-year players taken in the lottery. I mean, he's had some struggles finding his offense and NBA consistency. He needs to get a little bit stronger and a little bit more consistent in the shot.
Some changes for Charlotte. Howard comes in for Zeller. And it's Batum in for Marvin Williams. Then for the Raptors, Valanciunas is checked in for Nogueira. Baca comes in for C.J. Miles. And Norman Powell subbed in for DeLon Wright. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear Dwane Casey talk to his team. He said, do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back. Guys?
Okay, David, thanks. And with Frank Kaminsky out of Wisconsin, you knew his niche in the NBA would be as a stretch big man. Hard to be an impact player when you're struggling from outside, though.
Yeah, but Kaminsky is working on his defense. It's been a little tough for him to guard players inside. Players are still having his way with them, but
Take a break.
He's shown that he's trying to get a lot better at protecting the rim.
And that one misses. And he sinks the second. And Valanciunas out of Lithuania, the 5th overall pick back in 2011.
Yeah, he's still quite young. You know, a lot of talent offensively. Defensively, he's probably had less of an impact, but that's where he has to take the next step. And after only making 35% of their shots in that first half, they are slowly getting into a groove here in the second.
Now here is Lowry. He dishes it to Powell. Kicks it to DeRozan. Over Lamb. Good on the 13-footer. 16 points for DeMar DeRozan.
And really scored most of their points, but he can't score them all, guys. He's going to have to get somebody else to step up.
Walker the pass to Howard. On the wing, but 2. And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. That's it for him. He's fouled out of the game.
And he has to take that long, slow walk back to the bench here. He'll watch the rest of this one from the sideline. Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
And Toronto making a change here. Miles is checked in. Monk, no one around him. Cans it from downtown.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, they've been tremendous from beyond the arc. It's a shift from what they did in the first 2 quarters there.
Now here's Powell. Now the dish to DeRozan. And stolen by Howard. Here's Walker. Poked loose. Stolen by Miles. Now Lowry. He feeds it to Valanciunas. From 11 feet away, DeRozan's shot is off.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Shot's good by Walker. And Chris, I know you started doing a podcast, Fearless or Insane, with Chris Webber, an opportunity to have some meaningful conversation. What's that been like?
It's been great, Kevin. I've gotten a chance to talk to some friends, some mentors like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I've gotten to speak to him about what it was like playing for Wooden, what it was like coming up in the crazy 60s in that time. And, you know, he's such a thoughtful and a great individual. So to hear his stories about he and Muhammad Ali, he and Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these great figures is just wonderful. I also got to speak to track legends John Carlos and Tommy Smith, who in the 1968 Olympics, we've seen them kind of protest when they put their fist up in defiance and kind of put their voice out for the voiceless. And I got to talk to them about how tough of a moment that was. Did they know the sacrifice that they were making? What happened, the backlash to what happened? And then all these years later, do they feel kind of vindicated that we're showing them so much love and people around the world appreciate what they've done? So we try to just discuss fearless or insane. You know, they say insane is doing the same thing over, expecting a different result, where these guys put their lives on the line.
Yes.
And they kind of knew that it necessarily wouldn't change the arc of justice, but they felt that they had to do it. And so it's just some cool conversations with people and athletes that were much more than an athlete. And I've learned a lot, and it's been a cool podcast.
Here's Monk following the score by DeMar DeRozan. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. There's a screen. Monk kicks to Walker. 6 on the shot clock. Howard with a screen on Lowry. Shot's good by Walker.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Yeah, that offense shifted into high gear. I love the attack mindset.
Outside Lowry. And so it's the Hornets taking care of business in this one. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And that about wraps it up. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.